conversation, I can't tell you things. So I'm like, no, I gotta save this one for the show.
Yeah, exactly. I do the same thing. There's times when we're talking, I'm just waiting, and then I'll always forget about it. And also, we get near the end of the episode, and I'll just, oh yeah, verbal diarrhea.
Well, that's why we started with that's originally how we ended up going an hour and a half every time. It was like right at the hour mark, we'd think of something.
Oh, by the way, before we hit record, I have another.
Happy Sunday, June the 30th, 2019, and I'm Eric, talking at you as always from beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where tomorrow we celebrate 133 years of trying to convince the world that we're something more than a giant elaborate live-action episode of Kids in the Hall.
I can't even argue that.
Right?
I squished your head.
That's our country. Happy birthday, Canada. If I don't get to talk to you tomorrow. Hi, Gord. Happy Canada Day Eve.
Yippity. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm happy. I had a weird, happy, kind of a fun day. By myself.
That's an upside, I guess.
It's always good when you can just be by yourself. And enjoy. Yeah, I don't get enough of that time. I had some fun conversations with some guys. I talked to a native guy who was hilarious. Because his name was Nate. And I was bugging him about that being short for native.
Yeah.
Like, is that why you called yourself Nate? Because it's short for native? He laughed. That's a good icebreaker. You know, you're either going to get scalped or get a good laugh. And we got into talking about politics. And he said, yeah, that's where we went wrong too. We just didn't have a good immigration policy.
So true.
And I said, yeah, I guess you weren't expecting this many white people, eh? And he says, not just you. There's all the ones after you, too. It wasn't just white people. They just kept coming.
You know what's funny, actually? The next time I get into an argument with a liberal about immigration, I'm going to bring that up.
Yeah.
You want to know what happens when you don't have a good immigration policy? Or fucking policy?
That's what happens. It's really funny. And he said, I came up with an award-winning quote that I'm going to be running with until October. That when he asked which guy I was going to vote for this October, I said I'm not. I said, listen, would you eat garbage just because it tastes better than shit? No. You'd wait until there was some fucking food. That's my good quote. I came up with that all by myself. I'm not going to eat garbage just because it tastes better than shit. I'm going to eat food.
I want food that didn't come from the garbage.
Exactly. Hi, everybody. Hi, Adrian and World. I didn't check our stats today. I was too busy being awesome, but I'm sure they're fantastic. I did.
Oh, wait. By the way, happy belated birthday, Adrian.
Oh, Adrian. You didn't tell me.
It was his birthday was the same day as your last birthday.
Oh, good. Well, I'm sure we could share one again next week sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Well, happy birthday, Adrian. I didn't know, buddy. I hope it was all you wanted it to be. We should have called him. I feel bad now.
Yeah, I didn't realize until today. I was up on Facebook today. I'm like, oh, shit, it's birthday yesterday. So I had him send him
that happens.
Belated birthday.
It happens to dudes. Dudes, just get over it. Birthdays are for girlfriends and kids.
Yeah, I know. Guys don't care.
We don't care.
No. I gave up on my fucking birthdays many years ago.
I did. And you know what? People were very kind to me this year. I got a lot of messages, like, after my birthday, like, oh, sorry, I didn't know it was your birthday. Like I know. Nobody does. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. I don't care.
I didn't mean it in a passive-aggressive way. I just felt, I got over it when I was 18.
I don't need to know how fucking old I am and how much closer I am to fucking death.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't bother.
But our little country, look how far we've come in a year, hey? This time last year, we were sitting around wondering if the pipeline was going to be built. We weren't sure if marijuana legislation was going to work. We were worried that Doug Ford might be fiscally irresponsible. Man, shit changes in a year, hey? Shit can change in a year. Holy crap.
Absolutely nothing.
No. It's like, I almost went back. I didn't have time, but I wanted to go back and listen to the Canada Day show from last year because I remember it being one of my favorites. And I remember that was the pot talk because the July 6th was it was technically illegal or legal.
Yeah, legal. That's right. Yeah.
July 1st we were talking. I want to go back and listen to last year's because I guarantee it's almost word for word the same.
Yeah, how they're gonna fuck it all up. It's gonna make the prices go up. Doug Ford's gonna fuck everything up too.
What's with Mr. fucking naming 15 ministers? Mr. I'm gonna cut the government in half and then I'm gonna secretly appoint 15 other dudes?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I've given up on this fucking jackass.
He's just, I don't get it. It's kind of like, oh, I already got one foot in the grave. You know? I might as well.
Yeah,
I'm already running on empty. I might as well gun it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a jackass. Anyway.
Fucking right.
He's screwy. Our country's screwy. Our country's dumb. You know, someone asked me on Quora about, you know, who runs Canada. And it's fucked up to think, but really, technically, it's the Queen. She still does.
Wow.
If you go down the hierarchy of people who are in charge, the Prime Minister's like fourth.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's dumb. It's a dumb system.
Yeah, no, we don't have a whole lot. We don't as a nation. We don't really need necessarily a person to run the country.
Well,
we just need people to just put into keep things level.
I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee.
Well, that's because our country's so vast. Like, it's always been a problem. We can't govern something this big with this tiny of a population. It's difficult and pointless.
And if they were to segregate the country into, like, say, 5 different little smaller countries, I guarantee you Ontario would fucking fold first.
Yeah, probably.
Because they would be the central to everything. They would think that they are the king of the world, and they would just absolutely ruin themselves.
You don't have a hell of a lot to offer.
No, we don't. A bunch of people that hate French people. A lot of flat, fucking useless land, and the northern part is a bunch of sporadic space with trees.
Yeah, good trees though. Great trees. Good hemlock out there.
Yeah. Well, we got nice trees. We got the best fucking maple trees in the world. So.
Indeed. But
we got you guys smoked.
But you don't have the syrup. Isn't the syrup market all Quebec?
Fuck no. Here.
I thought it was all Quebec.
That's where I grew up going to the syrup fucking forest and tapping trees and.
I thought it was all Quebec because the big, the vault is in Quebec, the one that got robbed.
Well, yeah, there's the storage facility.
Yeah, I just assumed that it was there because that's where it came from.
Nah, we just store it there to make them feel good.
Yeah. Hide the fact that they're built on top of an asbestos mine.
That's how we make them feel included.
Well, they're going to start feeling included soon, I'm sure. Because everyone's looking forward to 2020. And granted, that's very exciting, but I don't want people to overlook the fact that we have one before that. Our big election is not 2020. Our big election is right around the corner in October.
That's right. And it's going to be a fucking shit show.
It's going to be...
It's already a shit show.
I don't even know what to think. I'm stuck. I'm just, I don't know. I mean, we got this guy. Just a menace. And I understand he's just a kid. He wasn't ready for the job, but I don't want to get stuck with him again, but yet the alternative is Satan. He's literally Satan.
Yeah.
And yet this is by all rights a 2-person race. No one else is even within distance of mentioning.
No, the NDP are pretty much done and out. It's at this stage, really what it comes to, it's all up to the Green Party to pull the ultimate win from out of their ass.
I don't think they can do it. I wish them the best of luck, and I will root for them this year. But the other two are just too strong.
Yeah.
They each hold like 80% of the vote or something weird. I don't know how that works, but they're just massively ahead of everyone else. But he's just he's the devil. I would almost rather prefer Trudeau because it's going to be a cold, scary country when this guy gets in. Like even Stephen Harper's like, that dude's cold, man.
He is. He's going to turn into an extremist version of the U.S. It's going to be fucked up.
Stephen Harper, who has been hired to renegotiate Brexit. Very cool for him because he'll do
well.
Yeah, well, he's a genius with stuff like that. The man's genius. Yeah. People forget that because they think he was bad. Well, look at the alternative.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy, I was going over because update on our story that we're following, and this ties well into is a whole big thing. The U.S. Supreme Court has denied Alabama's appeal, so they can't ban abortion. They just can't. It's a violation of the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling. They were on appeal this time. They were appealing it, and they're not. The court won't even hear the appeal. They're done with this conversation. You cannot just blanket ban abortion.
Well, I think that what you're going to see is, I'll guarantee you, they're just going to continue doing what they're doing because pretty much all the people in the state that are in the position to charge these people, I think they're just going to continue to do it anyway.
But the charges will never go anywhere.
No, but they'll still ruin people's fucking lives in the process.
Oh, 100%. And the members of the Supreme Court said they fully would if they could, but the Supreme Court's a vote, right? Clarence Thomas said he'd back it 100%. But he's got to vote with he cast his vote, whatever, it won 5-4 or whatever. Or I think it's 9. Yeah, I think it's 9 on the Supreme Court. Anyway, it won, and he said he supported it, but whatever. Like, there's people higher up that do want this, and it's retarded. And there's even other states are backing off on it. I don't see it happening. I don't see Roe v. Wade being turned around. I don't think anyone wants to do that. I think that's where you'll start getting radicalism in the U.S. to a huge degree. Is if they were to go that far and turn around Roe v. Wade.
Oh yeah.
You'd have groups like the Black Panthers and stuff like that. Not them per se, but you'd have groups forming for sure.
I don't know. I'm losing faith. I don't think the U.S. has it in them. I mean, I think they talk about their gun laws for their militias to stop a tyrannical government, but when the tyranny is right in front of their face, they still do nothing. And I don't think they ever will. I don't think the U.S. has it in them. I think that they solely rely on their own military to deal with everything. And the very small groups that do exist, it's literally just a group of 2 or 3 guys in those little 2 or 3 guy pockets.
Well, that could be it too. Maybe they've smartened up to the point where they know Trump will just kill them. He'll just crush them. He'll have no holds barred. It's easy to pound your chest when you're up against Bill Clinton, right? But you're up against a guy he will go to war with anybody. He's got to get a war before he's done.
Speaking of Trump, I'm not understanding something. A guy post about saying that Trump deserves the Nobel Prize because he's the first leader in the world that's actually visited and stood up to North Korea and has created world peace.
Well,
and I'm very perplexed by this because...
First of all, he's done neither of those things.
Well, if it was true at all... By the way, I got fireworks going off the background. I'm not getting shot at. If this was at all true, then fucking little fucking Kim Jong fucking Un would actually not be producing nuclear weapons, but yet he still is.
Yeah, no, he's blatantly violating the treaty, and there's no world peace on the horizon whatsoever. I don't know where you're getting that from. The U.S. is planning a war as we speak.
Yeah, how do you call fucking world peace when the leader of the U.S. is in the process of starting a fucking war?
That's That's just
that's not world. If you think that defines world peace, eat a bullet.